All right, man. What a day. What a day. Like, it has been quite the day for me. Like, I've been everywhere, like all over the place. Yeah, like I have been everywhere here all at once. Yeah, like it has been a crazy day. Just busy running errands all day, and then finally got some time to actually be able to be able to sit down and stream. Yeah, and then like went to Walmart and was like I saw people there and they kept talking and then like I did that. So then card shop I go to, they they're like right next door to where I live. So I popped in there, because I really don't try to like keep a lot of like junk food and like snacks and stuff in my house. So I basically was like, I'm gonna go in there real quick and I'm just gonna like get some stuff. And then there's like three or four people in there that I know like really well, and I gotta talk to them, and everybody keeps talking to me. Um, like in the moment, like it's kind of like, oh man, I gotta go. But at the same time too, like it's really nice like knowing people, and it's the like beauty of like living like in a smaller esque town. I wouldn't say that like like where I live is like a small town. Like I grew up in a very small town, like just a handful of like lights, traffic lights, and everything. But no, it's good. It's really good. Yeah. So so there is that. Anyways, so got in got in last night. I know I said I was going to stream getting a master ball, but I ended up getting on here playing and forgot to hit record and like forgot to hit like stream. So that was actually kind of funny. Like I did this whole thing and I was like, finally I got it, and realized I didn't even hit go live. So like I was just sitting here talking to myself for maybe like an hour or two, and didn't ever once think about it. But it was late. I got in late from locals. Locals. That was a rough night. It was a really rough night. I think maybe a lot of it too is that like it was just a late night to begin with, and the other part of it too is like I'd been playing all day. Like I think by the time I had went and like went to just sit down and play like locals and actually play like an in-person tournament, that was like my 18th game of playing. I played 4 rounds last night. So I played 21 games of Pokemon, and I think maybe about by then the fatigue definitely had some kind of effect on me in that regard. But sometimes the cards just fall wrong. Just sometimes the cards fall wrong, and everything's a cycle when it comes to this game. So, like, one night you will be doing really well and you feel invincible, like, and, you're king of the world. But then there's some days where, you know, just everything goes wrong, and I'm just putting some stuff on Instagram and everything there. Which, if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's the same as same thing as here. It's Jones underscore TCG underscore. So yeah, so that's definitely that. Follow that. The other thing too that I didn't that I announced yesterday, and definitely going to say again too, is I now have an affiliate link with Dubby Energy, and this has been something that I've wanted for a while and always had like on my to-do list. Once like I got this set up and once I started streaming, was that I wanted to partner with Dubby. I had bought their products like a while back, and I had tried it and it was really good. And with this, like, is getting signed up for their affiliate program. Like I got like three of these little sample packs. This is the Beach and Peach, which I imagine probably tastes like a Bellini. I had this one yesterday. It was like juice grenade or something like that, and it was really good. It was really good. It tasted like if you ever had like the Aruba jam. Oh, my camera decided to freeze on me. Give me a second. Hold on a second. I'm still there. Is that better? Can anybody in chat tell me if that's working? Yeah, that's working on my end. But yeah. So, anyways, yeah, Dubby, I got it. Got it with a little shaker. I've got a promo code on checkout. If you ever like want to go buy something, it is good. Guy Jones 10 get you 10% off your purchase at checkout, and that's good. But yeah, anyway, so I'm just wrapping up, like letting everybody on socials know what I'm doing, and then we'll get started. So now that we got to Arceus, oh, this is the other thing too with it. I like got on live earlier today, and I was just like killing time, and accidentally like got in a game, and like just scooped quickly because I didn't have the time, and what I was doing, I didn't have the focus to be able to like play intentionally. So I scooped it. So instead of starting at 1500, we're now starting at 1488 and going from that. But this is fine. I think now, like at this point, I'm really just solely looking to play stuff that I'm realistically considering to play at official events, or I'm looking to play like at locals. And like I very well could do the same thing too with like Raging Bolt. Like I think what we had is a really solid list. Which, by the way, on the YouTube videos, let me know if you want to start seeing me post the lists and everything on those, or even like in this, like just start posting the lists, whether that's on Twitter or anything else. Let me know, because I definitely would love start sharing those things with you, start sharing those things with everybody. One more post to make, and we'll go ahead and get started. So the other thing I'd say too, if you saw by the title of the stream, is we're gonna play some Terror Box. Like I came to this epiphany the other night, or not really like the other night, but I came to this epiphany last night while I was, I was playing at locals. Nobody respects Shaman. Like nobody respects Shaman, or they don't respect the snipe. Like nobody, like every setup deck that I've seen, even like on live, like nobody's playing this guy. But again, if you don't know what Shaman does, Flower Curtain, it says prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon that don't have a rule box by attacks your opponent's Pokemon. And it's like Gardevoir plays this. Raging Bolt has that. If you play against, I mean, even the other night when I went to locals last Wednesday and I played Ethan's Ho-Oh box, like I was darn it, camera's messing up again. All right, y'all get to see me in color tonight. instead of my typical black and white. All right. So we're going to go with that. And we are going to just roll with this, and I'll worry about that at another time. Yeah. So anyways, like I was saying, like, even this, like, there was a round where I was able just to snipe somebody right off the bat just because of this. Like, well, not right off the bat, but like turn two, I'd got a torrential pump off and won the game. And it's one of these things that, like, you know, I'm seeing this and it starts to get the wheels turning, and I'm like, I kind of want to pull this out. Now, granted, here's the problem though. Like, while this is a very cool deck, it is not for the faint of heart. It is legitimately not for the faint of heart. And the reason I say that is because there are so many steps involved. And the littlest misplay can have huge ramifications for like the rest of the game. Like, this is not something you just roll out of bed like 30 minutes before the tournament starts, writing your deck list on your best friend's back. Like, this is like a deck that like you have to put some time in. And I think like, with like a lot of them, I think with like a lot of them though, it's like, with a lot of decks right now, it's like you have to put some time into them. And there's like maybe, like with Joltik Box being like maybe the exception. There's not a lot of decks that are just you can just pick up and play and run. Like, you have to put some time into them. But like with this one, you definitely have to put some time into Terra Box to be able to play, because there's so many scenarios and then there's so many things that you're thinking about of like, okay, if I do this, then I need to get this card and this card off a Noctowl, and the next turn when I go and I do this, I'm gonna have to grab these cards because these are all the different ways and all the different scenarios that I can win and how I'm going to win. So that is kind of like where I am with that. Now, like, I don't discourage, and I don't like tell people like, hey, don't play this because it's like, this, that, or the other. I think with anything that I do is I tell people just, you know, like, I say that there is a bit of work that is involved with playing the deck. As with anything, like, there is a bit of work. And it's the same thing with like any kind of with anything, like any hobby. Like, you have to be able to put in some work, and have to be able to put in the time in order to reap the benefits and be able to see success. Like, it's there's no easy path. Yeah. So that's my long story short. My path. Nobody's playing Shaman. I want to start sniping some fools. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna play some Terra Box. Probably get some reps in with Gardevoir. And then also want to try out this Team Rocket's Porygon deck that I saw the other day on X. Which, by the way, if you're not following me there, Jones TCG on that, and on all the other socials. All right, so we're playing somebody with Team Rocket cards. Maybe they're playing Team Rocket deck. Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. We'll see what they got. Bump this music up a little bit. Do this. Change it up. Alright. Oddly enough, like, this is a deck that actually wants to go first. So I'm gonna go first with it and see what happens. Playing Creepy Grandpa. Like, that's suspicious. Alright, so that's a pretty good little start there, considering we got Noctowl and we have out to a Rotom. Okay, so we are playing a Team Rocket deck. Let's see what else we got in here. We got the Bear. Love this card, by the way. Adios. If the opportunity presents itself, which I think it might. Yeah, we're gonna do this. A teal dance onto him. It's a bummer I can't attack. So that's a really good first turn. Really good. So now let's see what happens. So I got the coughing. But it's not the Team Rocket's coughing, which is interesting. So I'm kind of curious, like, what exactly they're playing. I know they play Pheasantipity. Alright. Can't have my cake and eat it too. It's whatever. I'm used to it. It's playing Gravity Mountain. Alright, so it is a Team Rocket's deck. That's interesting. I'm just gonna bump this. I don't really think there's anything like to do here. Pitch the stretcher. Alright, so we can't go for the Crown Opal, but I mean, I think that's fine. Like, from what I'm seeing, like, they don't play anything that, like, would need it. So we'll save that. Maybe it's not ideal, but I'm just gonna do that anyway. And let's Unify Beatdown. Just do that. So I'm genuinely curious if, like, our opponent doesn't know you have to have Team Rocket Pokemon to evolve into, like, other Team Rocket Pokemon. Or maybe there's, like, some kind of strategy there. So we'll see. So there's that. Flip the script. They're gonna play Proton. And then we'll start seeing more of what they have. Alright, so there is the Team Rocket ones. Now what's cool about that is, like, if you hit the coughing, apparently, like, it makes it to where, like, it multiplies. Yeah, it says if this Pokemon active spot is damaged by an attack, even if it's knocked out, search your deck up to 2 Pokemon that have coughing in their name and put them on an event, shuffle the deck. So maybe this is one of those, like, explode kind of decks. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Six, 7. I'm gonna put Mew here because I want to try to get a Noctowl going. We don't get Noctowl. That's fine. We'll take the 2 prizes here, and then we'll just try to set up a double knockout to try to get us back onto even prize count. Alright, so there's that. Got a big bench. I think what's a more interesting situation is, like, what do I get rid of? Okay, so Defiance Ban on the coughing. There's the Wheezing, which I love this Wheezing, by the way. Like, Destined Rivals has some of the best, like, illustration cards, period. Get the Proton. Proton's gonna let him grab a trainer card. It's a callback to the Skyla card from Boundaries Cross, Breakpoint. Alright, so that's actually huge. The neutralization zone. Right? That's what I have to do. Like, just unfortunately. That was tough. Wax Pokemon don't do jack to this, to any of them. It's 150. Shouldn't have done that. Well, that was a misplay. Now I kind of regret getting rid of the Fezandipity. God, that's tough. I think maybe what I do is, like, if he knocks this guy out, maybe what I end up doing is I just go, like, something here. Because as long as they got that out, like, I'm not gonna be able to, like, do jack. Alright. We're good. This anymore. Okay. So our third stadium is prized. Oh. Oh, thank God. Okay, thank God. So let's see what happens here. It's an Ultra Ball. Maybe we'll finally get to see what he's trying to do. I really don't want you to knock out Wellspring Ogerpon. Like, can you just, like, not do that? That'd be great. It'd be real great. I don't know what that is. But, yeah. I don't know what that is. Okay, so... Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Echo. Thanks, man. Yeah, definitely way to go. Oh, hey. Let's see what he decides to do. You done goofed there, pal. You should have brought up the wheezing. Alright, we take that. Off of a lucky top deck from... Well, not top deck, but a lucky pull of the prizes. We got there. Alright. Yeah. So, class, what did we learn? Check your prize cards. It's the one lesson that I always preach. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was... Yeah, that was definitely, like... That could have been really bad. Like, if I didn't pull the... Like, if I didn't pull that Area Zero like I did, like, that could have been bad. Just really bad. You know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's probably part of the reason why I've been playing for so long. You know, maybe try to prove one day that I don't suck. I know, I know, I know. Nah, it's fine. But I always do say that though. Like I had somebody ask me that the other day. They were like, "Why do you still play? Why have you been playing for so long? When are you gonna hang it up?" And I was like, "It's like, I think because it's like one, I don't get it wrong. Like I genuinely enjoy the game. Like I wouldn't be playing it for like as long as I have if I didn't enjoy the game. But I think for me, it's like I've had so many moments in my opportunity, like in my like career where I was like just this close. But you know what? We still love you, Mark. We still love you. Like you're the man, and it brings you back for it. But I think with like, I mean, and like Mark, you can like attest to this too. Like the NAIC trip in 2016, you know, with the three tire blowouts and then like just barely missing my invite by like one place, which I'm gonna end up doing a whole video on that trip. That story is wild. But you know, if I could ever just have like that big moment where like I finally just kind of put it all together and it's like here are the fruits of my labor. Like I tell people like if I could just go to Worlds once, earn the invite, I could hang it up and I'd be fine with it. And like that's like the only thing that's like kept me there is just like to be able that ability to get there. And I've gotten close. Yeah. And that wild trip was one of them. You know, I needed a top 128 or higher finish for Worlds and tied 129th. Yeah, that was definitely a rough trip. But all right, yeah. So anyways, there we go. So let's talk about the list real quick while I'm just sitting here talking. I'm going to point out a couple of things. The first one, I mean, this is a pretty standard Terra box of... Yeah, I did. Like, I was... Yeah, the 2017 frame, that was what we're talking about. Like, I needed a top 128 or higher at Nats, and I tied 129th. And what's crazy enough too is like even with that season, like if I had went to Mississippi States, I probably would have had it. But like that day, like the day of like Mississippi States was weird because like I remember just like waking up and just being like, I don't want to go. All right, appreciate it, man. I'll talk to you in a bit. But yeah, so like I'm saying, like I just remember like waking up one day and just being like, I don't feel like going, I don't feel like making that drive. And I think a lot of it though too was like where I was at in life. Life was rough. Pokemon was about the only good thing going for me at the time. And oh, dude, I miss States too. Like I wish something like States would come back. You know, because like it's like now with like the way that like the invite structure has changed, it's gotten to the point now where it's like, you know, you have to you can't just get to a point threshold and be like, hey, like I'm good. Okay, it's a matter of like you have to stay in 128. You have to get to 128 of the ranking of the top 128, and then you have to stay in it. So, like, I mean, for me, and I've told people this before, but I don't mind talking about it again. Like, it devastated me. Like my main, I'm a middle school English teacher, so having to have my arm twisted and say like, hey, you can't chase this because you have to go to the international championships, you have to go to like multiple regionals, like you have to do this, and like public education does not have the most flexible of PTO. And again, we know the state of like how much educators are getting paid these days. So I mean, like, there's no there's no secret to that. But I think the thing with it too is just it makes it hard because then it's like these are both things that I love, and I have to choose one or the other. And at the end of the day too, I mean, like, the main goal of this channel, the main purpose of these streams is to teach, is education focused, because my hobbies and my career are intertwined. But at the same time too, it's like, to maybe make this into something I could do full time. That's something I would do. All right, Ghostly Echo gave me the follow. Appreciate that. Then it puts me at 24, and I'm 6 away from my goal for this week. Trying to get to 30 followers by the end of this week. I know last week we were able to get to it, and we were able to get to 20 by the end of the week, and I would definitely love to be able to get that. And if you're in the chat and this is your first time hanging out and you have not followed me, just go ahead. I'm going to make the plug. Go ahead and hit that follow button. Even if you're over on YouTube as well, because I am also streaming to YouTube, Jones_TCG_. It's over there. I put the video, I put the entire streams over there. So like, if you watch a part of this and then you don't get to watch the rest of it, or maybe you missed a portion of it, the videos are always over there. So you've always got some way to see the content. But yeah, World Structure was tough this year, and it's kind of like the same thing too. Like, if you've spent any amount of time on Twitter and you see people posting like, oh, this is my goal for the season, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, like, I'm just like, yo, I just want to win. Like, that's all I'm gonna do. Like, I get an invite at this point, but I'm just gonna show up, I'm gonna play the best I can every tournament, every locals, and I'm just gonna win, and I'm just gonna do what I know to do. And also to try to minimize the amount of like moments I good guy Jones somebody. But yeah, but States definitely needs to come back for the people who necessarily can't go to a regional or like go to a special event or something like that. Like, there needs to be some kind of in between, because like, yeah, the ace trainer stuff is cool, which, if you don't know about what the ace trainer thing is, like, please let me know in the chat. Like, I'll gladly explain it to you. But like, that's nice and that's all fine and dandy. But like, the end goal is, I look at it like this: why should your end goal be a participation trophy? If the goal is to get to Worlds and to win Worlds, why would you settle for like your end goal being a participation trophy? Like, that's the way I look at it. And I could be wrong, and if I am, I'll gladly admit it. But for me, it's like I don't see that as like the prize. I just don't. But yeah, States need to come back. Those were fun. Anyway, so back to Terrorbox List. So I play Iron Bundle. This is a card that honestly, anytime I sit down to build a deck, if I can find a use for it and I can find a space for it, I'm putting it in. Hyper Blower, we know what it does. Your opponent switches their active with one of their bench Pokemon. You saw how I did that in the first game we just played not too long ago. We set it up and we were able to use the Hyper Blower for them to be able to take the last two prizes, and it got away from the Wheezing ability, which is ideally what we wanted, but they ended up giving us the 2 prize knockout that we needed. The other really neat thing too, and you'll see kind of more of like how this might work out. But again, Refrigerated Stream is a pretty neat little attack considering, you know, the amount of Grimmsnarls, the amount of Dragapults running around. Like, if any Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. Yes, you can retreat and you can go to another evolved Pokemon attack. Or the other thing too that surprisingly not a lot of like newer players know. You know, let's say like for instance you have a Dracloak and I hit you with Refrigerated Stream. If you were to evolve into Dragapult, it loses the effect. So like it can still attack it because it's now a new Pokemon. So yeah, you can do these things, but like a lot of times, you know, this can come in clutch. I used it at a League Cup last season, and my opponent just kind of looked at me. He's like, "Are you crazy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I'm crazy about winning," and he just got a chuckle out of it. So I will always talk about Iron Bundle. That's one of my favorite cards that's came out in the last few years. Mew because Unfair Stamp's a jerk. I mean, this is pretty standard stuff. I think the thing that might set mine apart from other people is I do play the Glass Trumpet, which you might have seen. That's really neat. I like using that. Basically, I can put the energy on Tropicos, I can put it on a Noctowl, I can put it on a Hoot. Being able to like well time the Glass Trumpet with a bear attack at the end of the game is always really fun. But it has to meet the criteria that I have a Terra Pokemon in play, so Ogerpon, Terabagos, Pikachu, and then I can put it onto a colorless Pokemon, so that's really good too. The other thing, and this is kind of like what I'm trying out tonight, we're playing this to give our guys 30 HP, so that way knockouts with Pikachu just become more reasonable. You know, if we got to swing into a Dragapult or we got to swing into a Charizard, and we don't have Clefairy or Ogerpon on board, that's kind of there. A lot of times what you might see, and it's really dependent too, and I'll kind of show you where my thinking is with this, is that this stadium right here usually might be a jamming tower. And the thing with like the jamming tower too is like that's not a bad play. Like jamming tower is good. It stops Evo, stops Devo, like it stops a lot of things. And you know, if you're like, hey, I don't want to play Gravity Mountain, I'm gonna play jamming tower. Like, you know, hey, totally in the right for that. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. But something again I've just noticed, and this is the purpose of why we play test. This is why we practice. Is just trying that and see like if this really does pay off in situations. Because really this variant came off of this where we were playing 2 Clefairy with one of these. And the whole basis of that is if I'm playing Jamming Tower, I don't want to have like my Lily's Pearl be like to be null and void. I want to keep it active. So I was like, I can't play Jamming Tower. Like, I'm gonna have to play something else. You know, and there was a lot of thought too of like, you know, I could play a 3rd Area Zero, but I play the mirror match. I play something else that plays Area Zero. I now have 3 dead cards, and I don't have a way to bump the stadium. So Gravity Mountain was the next best thing. So I'm gonna try this, and we're just gonna kind of see what else we can get and how. If it proves to be worth its spot, and if not, you know, we could go to something else. All right, so we're gonna see what we got here. Just realized I had like another chat box in the top bottom right corner. Figure I'd just go ahead and get rid of that. Alright, so we're gonna go first again, like I said. In first game, Terrabox really likes to go first. Like, I am totally fine with that deck going first. The only thing, though, is that we know that, depending on what we play against, they're gonna try to hit us with Badoo. We know that. So we have to play in a way that anticipates them putting us in an item lock. Alright, so let's look here. I know we got that. I know I got one of those, so I don't really need another one. Alright, so that's going to be big. That's going to be big. That's there. Second one, for Crispin. That's there, that's there, that's there. Alright, we're good. I think I can hold off on using the Ultra Ball. I'm just going to use the Psychic and the Grass Energy. Alright, pretty good first turn. Now what we just need to hope is we don't get Ionode. Okay, so they're playing... Oh, so they're playing Ho-Oh Box. Okay, okay. So we do have a turn that we can... get set up. What's going to be important is that we get these Charge Cadets off the board. Because we know they're going to want to do that. They're going to want to do that. And it looks like we probably might have to play around Iron Hands. Played Squawkabilly. Haven't seen him put a Ho-Oh down yet. Probably just so know if they're sweating bullets or just the internet's really slow. Could be either or, it could be both. Alright, so there's the boss's order, so that's going to tell us what we need to do. They're obviously going to bring a Hoodoo up, Hoot up. Alright. So there's that. Now this is important though too. In this situation, we want to make sure that we evolve our benched one first. Here's why. Because we're going to have this. Forget our Latias, but then at the same time too, if we were to evolve into Alright, they scooped. Alright, so the reason going back with that, and the reason why we would want to evolve the bench Hoot first is because if we were to go and evolve into the first one, and let's say we didn't have the rescue board there, we wouldn't be able to retreat. We would have to commit an energy there. Alright? Alright. Hola, Pinky, thank you for jumping in. Appreciate you jumping in on the chat and spending your Thursday evening with me. Hope you enjoy yourself. But anyway, so update on that. That puts us at 2-0 for the night. We are 2-0. We've played 2 games, we've won 2 games. But anyways, like I was saying, if we didn't have the rescue board, we'd have to commit an energy. And another thing too, if we play Terrabox, and we're going to look at it here in a second, you know, we're not playing a lot of energy. Playing 2 Psychic because of Clefairy. We're playing 1 Electric, we're playing 4 Grass, we're playing a Water, we're playing a Metal. Okay, so the Water, Grass, and like the Grass, the Electric, and the Metal is obviously for Pikachu. Grass Energy is also for Teal Mask. This speaks for itself. This is for Clefairy. Early on, a lot of people would play 2 Water because of we were going to try to be super snipe heavy. But when you play Crystal, you don't really need to, because this does reduce the energy cost that we would need for a Torrential Pump. So there's that. Yeah. Appreciate it, Becca. I'm glad you jumped in. All right. Yeah. So there we go. So let's jump in to this. So we're gonna go third game. Let's try to get to 3-0 for the night. So I'm playing Terrabox, and also same thing too. Like if I got any card players in there, frequent regular card players. If there's anything you want to see me play, if you want to say, "Hey Jones, keep playing Terrabox. Love seeing what you're doing," or you're like, "Yo, hey, I want to see this or I want to see that," just let me know. I got just about everything built, and if not, I've got a staunch enough live account that I can build it. So there we go. We'll go first again. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing about this. They can actually knock us out if we're not careful. I think I go. I was just going to get another one of those down. I also appreciate the follow, Becca. Appreciate that. Trying to hit 30 followers by the end of the week, and you have now put me at 25. So we are 5 away from the goal for the week. Alright, so playing against Rage Bolt, this now puts us in a weird spot. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go retreat, and then we're going to hide behind the Fan Rotom. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hide behind Fan Rotom because in this instance, same thing like Raging Bolt Mirror Match, you don't want to be the person to be on the receiving end of a 2-prize knockout. We want to be the one taking the first 2 prizes, not losing the first 2 prizes. So there's that. So now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to flood the bench. Burst Roar. Oof, that was tough. Losing all of that energy. That was really tough. Alright. So we'll go here. 40, 60, 80, 100. So we put our rescue board on Rotom, so that way we'll have free retreat. And we only have one. Let's see. Do we have a Clefairy? Okay, Fairy. So we're gonna go Nest Ball. And then I'm gonna go Ultra Ball. So watch. This is what we're gonna do. Any boss, and I don't need Iron Bundle as much as I love it. We don't need it right now. We're gonna go get a second Noctowl. And off of that, I'm gonna go here. Double Nest Ball. Alright, so just for reference, Clefairy's attack does 20 plus 20 more for each bench Pokemon on both sides. So 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. We're going to do that. Bring this up. And Clefairy has this ability that makes Dragon Pokemon, which is what Raging Bolt is, weak to her. So that is just enough for a knockout. And we are now in the aggressors. We are now the aggressor. So we're going to take 2 prizes here. And we're going to see what they're going to do. So the bench goes wide. They got a Mew. They really don't need a whole lot to be able to get there. They just need like a Professor Sada. There it is. And they just need to attach an energy for turn. There's a Latias. There's an Ultra Ball. This is probably either going to be a Noctowl or a Hoothoot, or it's going to be a it's a Fez. Okay. Gonna bring back the other Bolt. So what we do here. Still gonna see an Ogerpon. There's the other Raging Bolt. Yet to see it flip the script. Or did they flip? I don't remember. But all they need is an energy. And they'll be able to retaliate with Clefairy. Which what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to we're going to get Pikachu going on the next turn. Alright, so there's our attach for turn. The saving grace of it though is that they can't, they just lose all their energy. So that is a silver lining to this, but it is not ideal. So now we're tied up for a piece. Bring this out. So they're about Clefairy's back. I mean, we got that, so that would be a start. We're going to see more of what we can get off of this. Fezandipity, for those that don't know, if one of our people are knocked out, it lets us draw 3 cards, which we lost to Clefairy, so we'll hit this. Okay. I think we're going to have to do that. Iron Bundle just in case. So what I'm gonna do with Iron Bundle is like, if I can get an energy, I don't. Okay, this is rough. Retreater. sort of a hit. This is gonna be weird. I think maybe... I feel like I only grabbed one thing off of that first. Makes things even worse. Get rid of Wellspring. Wellspring's dead in this match. But we got Gravity Mountain, so we can bump that. It's just now a matter of, like, can I attack? Is what's going to be the problem here. Because we did miss an energy drop. And it's kind of annoying, too, considering that I had a rather favorable hand there, but I felt like I had to Iono just with, like, how weak my board was. Alright, so they do play that one. We're probably going to see a Burst Roar here. They restart for 1. There's a Burst Roar. Alright. Do this. I mean, it doesn't really matter because they can just retreat anyways. But I want to put 2 of those there just in case. So now we'll get to see, like, if Gravity Mountain really carries its weight. Need an Ultra Ball here. Use some Attach for turn. Alright, there's an Iona. So that Iona is going to help us. Alright. We're good. We're real good. Yeah, we're real good. Yeah, we're doing real great right now. Alright. Glass Trumpet's prized. Bring that up just in case. This will go there. Alright, now we just blast them. You know, and the thing about it, I don't know if this the Raging Bolt we're playing against right now, if this is the one that plays Owls or not. But with the way it looks like they don't play the Owls. And from the looks of it too, they also don't play Slitherwing, which is really how they answer Pikachu. Like at this point, like if I don't get Iona, like I win. Right, so there's that. Yeah, we win. Just hope and pray they don't play a tool. I guess the question at this point is like, how do we want to win? I think, well, let's just do the safe bet and let's just grab the bear back and then hit him. Bear back. It's a little crude humor there for you. So we'll go Blood Moon. The next turn. Also, the other thing too is he has an yeah. Do they have a fighting energy? Is that the only fighting energy? No, they got a fighting energy. So they'll grab the fighting energy off of this, and from there they'll knock out the bear, and then we'll just follow up with a rescue stretcher and attach the grass, because there's really no point in trying to like slow roll them. Which, for the record, if you got game in hand, just get it over with. Just get it over with. Don't try to like slow roll and drag it out to your opponent. Like there's nothing honorable in that. Just get it over with. Just get it over with. So there's that. What they grabbed. Any day now, dude. Any day now. Okay, I can still look at cards. They can still look at cards. So now the question is did they just lag out? Or what are they doing? I think, yeah. To me, it looks like they just ended up deciding to. Okay, so they pass. All right, cool. Let's start with this. Go here. Go here. That. Now what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to go grab this, because it's always good to grab your Noctowls out of there. Do this. And then I'm just gonna do that. Do that. Just gonna grab that. There's no other effects on me. Retreat. Bring up the raid. Bring up the Raging Bolt. I've been playing too much Raging Bolt. Bring up the Pikachu, and then we just Topaz Bolt for the game. Alright, simple. Simple and clean there. Definitely the Iono did pay off for us. It really came down to a matter of who had the worst hand off the Iono, and obviously our opponent did. And that's not to say that like ours wasn't great either. We just happened to draw better than they did. So there's that. So now we are sitting at 3-0. Sitting at 3-0 on the night. Doing that. But again, you kind of saw how, like, with that, right there at the end and how I closed it out, you saw That's an example of like being able to know, like, obviously, like knowing what your outs are, and knowing being able to how to play this deck of like, all right, this is what they present me, this is how I react to it. You know, there are times where like you can be aggressive with this, but a lot of the times you're just making a read, and then you're just adapting your formula and you're adapting your strategy solely based off of like what it is like the opponent's giving you. Now again, like if you go and you make the play like you've seen me go, where I go and I take a double knockout, or I see right off the bat, I'm like, oh hey, I can take a knockout with Clefairy and be the aggressor. You know, that is times where you are aggressive, but a lot of the times, like you're just sitting there and looking and seeing what they're giving you, and then making your play based off of that, as well as the anticipation of like what to do multiple turns down the road. So there's that. Sitting at 3-0, going to be our fourth game of the night. We go again, won another coin flip. We've pretty much won every coin flip. I'm gonna go second this time, because it's important just to like practice going in those situations, just as it is like always going first. And two, we could play against a setup deck. Sorry, Mew. Make them think we're playing Gardevoir. Well, you know what? I can hold off on that right now. Let's go ahead and tempo and take a knockout. Second owl's good. Here's to hoping that they don't unfair stamp us and then item lock us. Here's to hoping that. But at the same time, too, a lot of the decks I've been seeing that are like Dragapult variants are like the Torrid Reckless version, with like Maractus and okay, they're gonna rare candy. All right, this is fun. Be my worst nightmare. They also have Holochun in hand. Then I'm really gonna regret not getting that 80 HP one. Which is something you should always do 9 times out of 10. We're gonna do this right now. So I'm gonna flip first and see what I need. Alright, first one. we're just gonna ruin their night. Because what's gonna happen here, Gravity Mountain reduces the HP of Stage 2 Pokemon by 30. So that puts Dragapult at 290. And we win the game that way. So, really quick win there. There's just an unfortunate draw. There's a really unfortunate draw there on their part. One thing I hate about eating jerky is it gets stuck in your teeth. Jeez. This is the Brooklyn Naked brand. Not sponsored, but it's just really good. It's beef, apple cider vinegar, and sea salt. And it's grass-fed beef too, so it's better for you and it's more nutritionally dense. Just again, thank everybody choosing to spend their Thursday evening with me. Anybody that's first-time viewer, my name's Jones, and I am a 15-year Pokemon trading card game veteran. I've played pretty much all over the continental U.S., and I've won numerous League Cups, won numerous League Challenges, and I got a few Day 2 placements, a lot of it being before the Limitless era, so, you know, it's kind of hard to track. But, you know, I've got the stories and the knowledge and the know-how, and just looking to pass off what I know to newer players and just make everybody better in the process. All right, so Teal Nance. We got 3 Ultra Balls and we got a Water Energy. This is such a weird opening hand. They play that. This will tell us what they're playing against. Which of Rotom. Naturally. It's a Raging Bolt. So same rules apply. We want to take the first 2 prizes. We don't want to be on the receiving end of a knockout. Maybe one thing I could have done, and we'll see, is I should have kept the board just Ditto and the Hoot Hoot, so that way it doesn't give them an option to take a 2 prize knockout. Because obviously Ditto becomes an Owl, and then I've got these 3 Ultra Ball here that, like, I'm not doing anything with. Alright, that changes a lot. Start with a fan call. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we'll just put Pikachu there. Let's see what we have. We're good. The other thing I could have done too is I could have went Wellspring Ogerpon and then trapped Teal Mask in the active spot, but they could just, with the hand that they have, they could just easily like they could just easily prime catcher around it. So I mean that's a play, but like Wellspring Ogerpon's just kind of dead in this match. Like once, especially like here, like it's good in the early game, but like once it gets set up, like it's I mean, it's a lot more situational. I'll put it like that. It's a lot more situational than like crucial to the match. Because I mean, I could always close out a game with like a whatchamacallit. I could always close it out with like a torrential pump or something like that. However, a lot of like what you're trying to do is you're just like going lick for lick. Like they're gonna like Bellwing Thunder you, you're gonna like hit him with Pikachu, you're gonna hit him with Tropicos, like you're gonna hit him with Blood Moon. Like you're doing a lot of back and forth stuff instead of these like methodical, thought out plays. But again though too, like if the option was there, knew that it would be around for another turn, then yeah, definitely would take it. Because again, we want to limit the number of owls they have, so we'll see what they end up coming up with. My guess is what they're going to do is they're going to try to check down on that Latios. Yep, see, they're going to check down on Latios, and they're knock it out that way. So then what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to leave my board with the Noctowl and with the Pikachu. My bet is they don't play Slitherwing. But if they do, kudos to them. So when you're using Pikachu in this situation, you always go Crispin for a grass, and then either or. Like you never go for like both of them. Like you go for one or the other. Toss that counter catcher. I'm gonna put a third one of these. I'm gonna put another one of these down. In anticipation, they try to kill the other one. Alright, so there's that. Retaliation kill. There's Area 0. Gotta catch Iono. Let's see what they get. Okay, they do play. Good, good, good. Alright. This is gonna be fun now. So in this case, the last thing I want to do is play down Blood Moon or Saluna. That's like the last thing I want to do. Oh, wow. That's great. Wow, they must have had the other one priced. Wow. That's crazy. Like, I was totally expecting to lose that one. But you know what? Hey, that was a good job. You know what? I'm gonna add you as a friend. Like, that was a good game. That was a good game. A very unexpected 5-0. Very unexpected 5-0. Very, very unexpected. Let's go first. See what happens. Let's make sure to check our prizes, see what we have. We got that. We got that. Alright, we pretty good. We're chilling. Yeah, I think I can get rid of the Ultra Ball here. Yeah, I think I can get rid of that. And then if we keep this hand, this is going to be able to free up what we use on Crispin, because I can always use that with the Clefairy if we need it, or whatever the situation calls for. But if we can get a good little start here and take 2 prizes off the bat, like, I'm liking our odds. But then again, too, like, they could play Shaman. We could be playing somebody that plays Shaman, and you know, that's why we're playing this deck tonight, because, you know, box combos for everybody. Not seeing a lot of Shaman, but when they do, you know what, more power to them. And that's the thing about a deck like this, is a deck like this is like opportunistic. Like, you can't just, this is not something like you could just like ride or die, like play it every single day. Let's see what they do. Alright, you know what, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Okay. Alright, so now the strategy is going to pivot a little. Because now they got all these guys they can hide behind. through the fairway. At the same time, too, they very well could get it back. But I really doubt it. Alright, so now we just hope that they don't have a way to get that guy back. So then it gets weird. It gets weird. If anything, we just go like Wellspring attack. If they get the retaliation kill, retaliatory kill with the Blood Moon, right? So they're gonna get that. Then what we do is we just go Wellspring, and then they can't retreat it. So they got it. We need to get Armor Rouge, and then we need to get like a 4th energy. There it is. Now we just need the Armor Rouge. Cute. We definitely don't want to bring out. Yeah, so it's actually pretty competitive here. That's 6. So we're gonna do that. I say Noctowl here. Some 2 Noctowls. I don't think. Yeah, we don't have to play Noctowl right now. That's the thing. We don't have to play it. It's nice, but we don't have to. But I think I know what we will have to play next turn is we will have to use the Glass Trumpet and some stuff. But we got that, so we're good. Just gonna see what they get. So there's that. That's actually gonna be pretty helpful. And even with the combination of like Crispin and Glass Trumpet, we can use Mew as well. So like, we do have options. I just want 60. You gotta be kidding me. We do have options. But I think like the most like obvious play here would be just to like get Clefairy. Because like whatever they bring out, like as long as they don't bump the stadium, like Clefairy should clean up. Clefairy should clean it up. Alright, so that's what we expected. So we can't have nice things. Retreat. Bring up the bear. Knock me out. Like, it's routine. I don't know what else you want. Alright, so there's that. We finally do it. Blood Moon 240. So this game actually turned into a game of chicken. It's going to basically be who is going to back off and not be able to retaliate. My bench is absolute trash. Restart one. What's weird about like Tropigus, it doesn't even knock this out. It doesn't even knock this out. That's what's crazy about it. Am I able to do that? Yeah, should be able to. Did I get the energy? Let's get the vow. I got that. Did I get the energy? Pikachu, I choose you. Let's use Pikachu to close it out. So I do have the Pikachu energy. Do I have the Pikachu energy? Please tell me I have the. Yes, thank God. Alright. There's that. Enough of the anxiety attack. Alright, there we go. Close it out. Almost gonna be a misplay there, but we definitely got it. So Senate's played 6 games. We were 6-0 for the night. It's pretty good. It's definitely pretty good. Alright, give me a second. I'm gonna go get a phone charger and plug my phone in. I'll be right back. back. So, yeah. So, anyways, recap 6-0, playing Terror Box because nobody plays Shaman in their decks, and we're just going to keep punishing people for that. Alright? Also, by the way, I have with me my Dubby shaker, and we're gonna have some nice little focus drink, a little energy drink. I'm gonna go with the Beach and Peach. Oh, Beach and Peach. Let's see what this tastes like. Anyways, I got this from Dubby. You can get one of these along with bigger tubs, other than the little small packets like I have, and you can get custom shakers, different things like that on their website. And you can use the promo code GoodGuyJones10 for 10% off of your purchase. So we're gonna do this, try it out. Like I said, the one I had yesterday on stream was really good. Imagine this one's gonna be really good as well. They also, too, right now, Dubby's doing a collab with Solo Leveling. And if, like, I haven't watched it yet, but I hear, like, it's a very popular, like, really good anime. And if I can ever get to a good stopping point of One Piece, I'll probably pick it up. I've also, too, I also saw that Dandadan is out now. So, I think it either came out yesterday or like it came out today. And like either I don't know, Hulu does it like the next day. Or maybe it's simulcast, I'm not sure, but I think Crunchyroll also has it like same day release as well, so I'll definitely have to check that out tonight. Season 1 was actually really good. I really enjoyed Season 1 of Dandadan. But that first episode was something else. Like if you've watched it, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but watching that first episode, I was like, all right, I'm a little uncomfortable here, but I think, yeah, it was a little uncomfortable there at first, but the way it all played out, it was a really good pilot episode, and it definitely had me engaged from the start. Which a lot of times, like, I'll talk to people like at tournaments or just whenever, and they'll spit out like, "Oh, have you watched this? Have you watched that?" And like, truth be told, like, I have not watched a lot of anime. I just hadn't. I haven't watched a lot of anime. I tend to find that like, if you can't captivate me within like the first 3 to 5 episodes, like I have no interest. Now, granted, the only one exception of that is One Piece, and the only reason I started watching One Piece is like a guy at my local shop was like, "Jones, bro, you gotta try it. Like, it'll change your life, bro. It's so good." And he's like, you gotta get to Water 7, bro. Like, that's all you gotta do. You gotta get to Water 7." And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch it to Water 7, and then I watched Water 7, watched Innis Lobby, and now here I am, like halfway through Fishman Isle. So we're halfway there. It's over 1,000 episodes if you don't realize. Anyways, all right. Beach and Peach, Dubby energy drink. That's actually really good. That is really good. That has been my favorite so far. I'm gonna look into getting a tub of that probably. But I think with like something like that, you probably want to maybe get like 2 flavors at a time. That's what I would do. I'd recommend getting 2 flavors at a time, so you don't get burnt out on one. Okay. 6-0. You can try to go 7-0 here. See what happens. I think a lot of it though is like we just played so much like Raging Bolt. I think like every other thing it's been like Raging Bolt, Dragon Ball, Raging Bolt, Dragon Ball. Although playing against that Ho-Oh box, that was actually really refreshing, and that was a good game. That was a really good game. I enjoyed that. I like those close, fast-paced matches like that where it's neck and neck. So that was fun. All right. So there we go. All right, playing against JWB. this. Alright, nice. Yeah, let's go first. So I think what I gotta do is I gotta go Ultra Ball away, whatever. Ultra Ball away this, and then whatever I top deck. Play down the Latios, go to the Ditto. Okay, so I don't do any of that. And I just hide behind this guy. Hope they don't poison me. Sounds like the only thing I don't like about having the top deck that Terapagos is because, like, it puts me in a weird spot. Now, is this guy gonna try to donk me? Like, what's going on here? This could be a Raging, this could be Raging Moon. Not Raging Moon, Roaring Moon. I've been playing too much Bolt this week. It could be a... Maybe it's Duraludon? That's gotta be a Roaring Moon deck. Okay, alright, so they've been playing a while, I like that. Or they just bought them. Yeah, that was the original Secret Rare Pokemon Catcher. You got it from Dark Explorers. That's okay, I didn't want my Noctowls anyway, man. It's okay. You know, I appreciate you getting rid of those for me. Okay. Alright. But yeah, you only got that from Dark Explorers, and it was super hard to pull. And it was really expensive, like before the Pokemon Catcher nerf. And then after the nerf, they like saw a dip, but it's still like a fairly expensive card. I haven't looked at how much it was. I haven't looked at how much the card is now, but I know like back when it was like a terror, just snatching up everything on everybody's bench, like it was a fairly expensive card. Alright, so there is that. If I somehow find a way, I don't find a way to do. Alright, they just scoop. Alright, so easy enough. 7-0. It's a bummer I didn't really get to see what they were gonna like be playing, but obviously it was some kind of poison deck. I've been seeing a lot of that, and I think maybe a lot of people like playing these poison packages in their decks just a way to like get to Arceus rank, or you know, they just fully believe in it. I know yesterday we played against a poison gouging fire, and that was actually really neat playing that. So. Let's do this. All right. Do I want to go first? Yeah, I want to go first. One of the only few decks in Standard that really likes to go first. Yeah, well, I'd probably say like Raging Bolt, Team Rocket, and like Terra Box. And the reason why you want to do it is because that way you can do the owls and stuff on the next turn. But then what it does what it subsequently does is it makes you have to play your deck like you know, especially like if you're playing against like Dragapult or something. Hello. Especially if like you're playing against Dragapult or something like that, like it makes it to where you have to play with the knowledge of knowing that you are going to get um, item locked. All right. So we got that. I think this works out pretty good for us as long as we don't get knocked out. Play anything else like that anymore, so we're good. Now, here's going to be the thing about it, though. Like, Frenzied Gouging still gets through... it gets through this. Alright. You don't want to bank on that. So we got that, we got that. Before we do this, I probably am going to grab the Terapagos. Oh. Alright, so the crystal is prized. That's going to make things a little interesting. Let's just sit with that and then hope we don't die. Because we are giving them a lot by letting them go second. That's how they get around Pikachu. There's a Carmine. They get rid of 2 energy. Yeah, they're not doing anything this turn. And to be fair, neither are we. But really, all they gotta go next turn is they go Sada, energy switch, and attach, and they can knock me out. This is also too a match where like jamming tower does play benefits and is very beneficial. Alright, what do we do? Definitely gotta do that. I don't really need the crisp in here. Put that there. This will go here. This on him, just in case. Should be able. 5. I need 2 Pokemon. That'd be 6. Dang, this is rough. Yeah, this is really weird. And Fez's prize, man, like there's just terrible prizes this game. Six. just go like another hoot hoot. Just gonna have to be the aggressor here. And we get him in between turns, so that way you do not benefit from Pheasantipity. However, we will, if we need to. So there's that. Now we gotta be able to see. And then they scoop, alright? So another one. Another quick win. 8-0 tonight. Just my cursor. There it is. Yeah, so again, so there's another one. But again, this, like, that match right there again, that shows another example of the strength of this deck, is that I can look at a situation and be like, okay, do I want to try to take multiple knockouts, or do I want to be able to be the aggressor and go on the offensive and push with the Terapagos? Now, here's the other thing about it though too. That was very greedy on me. That was really me banking on my opponent not having an answer if I was to take a knockout like that. Because the thing, and here's the other thing about it too, that maybe you noticed and maybe not, maybe you didn't. By just only putting 7 guys on my bench, I then, like I said, Roaring Moon does not get knocked out by damage. It dies from the poison in between turns. Now, if my opponent went and they had an Ancient Capsule on their Roaring Moon, that's a whole different story. And we're just trying to take a 2-prize knockout, and then I'm probably trying to do something different there. But in that case, if I would have put 8, or found a way to put 8, then they would have been able to use Pheasantipity and they would have had it out there. But by intentionally only putting 7 there, and already knowing my opponent's poisoned, that gets them to where they can't draw any cards. And when they had such a poor start like they did there, we take advantages. You have to take advantages of that. Like, your opponent, like, draws short, they misplay, like, you know, for lack of a better term, like, you have to punish them for it. Like, you have to punish those things. And in a game where momentum is so huge, and especially like against a deck like Roaring Moon, like where momentum is, I'd say like 95% of that match against it, it's so important to be able to like have the momentum in your side and be able to dictate the pace of it. So there we go. So speaking to it, all right, so we are 8-0 on the night, so that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Let's see if we can keep this winning streak going. Glad they're wearing their comfy shorts. If they're playing Grimmsnarl, I think this will be interesting to see. Because really, I haven't, like, this is the first time I've played this is the first time like I've played TerraBox since last format. I have not played it at all since Shaman came out. Alright, so this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. Let's see what all they have. Okay, we can do that, we can do that, we can do that. I'm gonna get rid of Mew and the boss. Put this guy out here. hold the area 0 because we don't want to be the first ones to put a stadium down. We want to be able to benefit off of them putting a stadium down. Alright, so there's that. Let's see what they do. Teal Dance. Just get rid of both the attackers. Whatever they put down along with that, that's what I'll... Okay. So depending on what we get off of this... Alright, so there's another one. Oh, so we're gonna play the research. Okay. They're probably trying to dig for an IO now. Which I don't blame them. That's what I would have done. The do. So this is kind of weird. A third monkey. Alright, that's kind of rad. I'm gonna keep the psychic energy in hand just so I have something to like. Something to attack with next turn. Which is where we probably are looking just to like saw block something. like a... Alright, that actually will work. That'll actually work. So they're gonna... It's nice knowing you. Nice knowing you. So we... Did we? Yeah, we did. Okay. We can still retreat. Throw another one, another 10, I'll take that. Alright, so that's great. So they're gonna knock that out. So that'll give us an out to a Pheasantipity. So that actually kind of works out fine. Kind of works out perfectly for us. And then with the crystal, we can attack for free. Sadly, don't have any energy in the disco. Alright, we need an Ultra Ball here. At this point. I mean, I could do that. Because I don't think we end up getting the knockout this turn, but... Yeah, that feels right. We still got one more owl there. Let's get rid of that. Alright, let's hope we can survive this. Did we get rid of both of our bosses' orders? We didn't. Oh, we did. Crud. I managed this game so poorly. I think I got a little too greedy this game. Too greedy this game. But I mean, we still have one Noctowl. And now they do the thing where they just sit there and wait for me to try to, like, scoop because they're taking too long. Alright, that worked out pretty well. worked out pretty well. That worked out pretty well. Cool. Wrap it up there for the night. 9-0 with Terrabox. It's pretty strong. Definitely saw how strong the deck is. Appreciate everybody that came out and followed. Getting super close to that 30 follower rank. Make sure you tell your friends, tell your family. I only need just a few more until I hit 30. And appreciate everybody that's followed. Appreciate everybody that's watched tonight. Hey Ivy, hi. It's good to see you in here. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. We will be checking. We will be streaming tomorrow on the 4th. Definitely be looking for on social media about what time that's going to be happening. Typically, it'll be in the afternoon. Also, make sure to follow, and it's in the chat. That is Jones underscore TCG. That is the same on here. It's the same on Instagram. It's the same on X, and it's the same on TikTok. Definitely give a follow to all of those because it all helps. It all helps building towards just building this channel, building a brand, building a product. Thank you, Aviana, for that follow. That helps a lot. But anyways, we're gonna jump off for the night.